Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of Teaching Ruel. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elects scattered abroad that's out here doing this work in truth and sincerity, man. I'm Brother Bach coming at you with another camp, man. You know, Lord willing, this camp is edifying to the hopeful elect. Today, I was gonna be touching on the Epstein files, man. You know, they had where some of the Epstein files came out, man, and it had President Donald Trump's name in there, man. You know, a lot of wickedness, you know, that came out from what they was doing on those islands over there, man. You know, they had I think the island was called Little James Island or something like that, but it was in the Virgin Islands, man. You know, owned by what's his name? Jeffrey Einstein, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna grab this article. This is on the BBC.com. It says ex-police chief said that Trump told him in 2006 everyone knew of Epstein's behavior. You know, and you know all these elites knew what was going on in that island, man. You know, they just never said nothing, man. They never brought it out. They tried to keep everything a secret. You know, that's why I was on that island, you know, over there in the Caribbean, man. You know, owned by I'm sure he was a billionaire, so most people didn't have access to that or know what was going on that island because it was privately owned. You know, so you know you could do whatever you want on that island. You know, it says Trump was friendly with Epstein, but says he cut off ties before Epstein's first criminal conviction. And you know, the files, you know, they have a lot of people's names in it, and a lot of people that they kept it from the public, man. You know, because they don't want it getting out, you know. And Trump's name so happened to came out. Now I say he cut ties with him in, 2006? But I'm pretty sure he didn't cut ties with him, man. You know, I'm pretty sure that he was still there and he knew what was going on. It says a former Florida police chief said that he received a call from Donald Trump in 2006 in which now President Trump told everyone knows about Jeffrey Epstein's behavior, according to an FBI document released by the Justice Department. You know, so everyone knew of Jeffrey Einstein's creepy behavior, but he didn't get arrested until I'm not sure the date that he got arrested. But I'm sure it was 10 years on down the line to where he was able to have his damn fun, man. You know, so that defeats the cause, you know, because the devil knew what was going on, so it really took for the public eye for them to even try to do anything, man. You know, it says the document is a written record of a 2019 FBI interview with former Palm Beach police chief who alleges Trump called him after the department launched an investigation into Einstein and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." So if everyone known he's been doing this, then why is this just now coming out? You know, or why it took so long for them to arrest this man if they already knew these things, man. You know, I was watching a movie where I forgot the name of it, but they was doing harvest on August harvesting, man. You know, they was harvesting organs from kids, man. You know, you got these rich elites. You know, some is usually wrong with their children. You know, and they buy organs, man. You know, so you seen in the Epstein files that a lot of underage kids, you know, were getting kidnapped and taken over there, man. You know, it says it says later down in the article, it says asked by reporters in 2019 when Epstein arrested by federal agents for sex trafficking if he had any suspicions about the disgraced financier. Trump said, "No, I had no idea. I haven't spoken to him in many years." But yeah, man, but you say you already knew he was a creep. You know, you already knew he was a creep, but you don't know that your name is mentioned. And then on some of the things that his name was mentioned in, you know, they took some of that shit out, man. They don't tell you everything. You know why? Because he's the president of the United States, man. That's why they don't tell you everything. They just show you some things that he was in affiliation with, man. But not all the things he was. It says Maxwell was convicted in 2021 for her role in luring underage girls for Epstein. Ryder also told the FBI that Trump said he was around Epstein when he was with teenagers and that he got the hell out of there. According to the document, he said Trump was one of the very first people to call Florida police when he heard they were investigating Epstein. Okay, so you waited till the police got involved, right? But you said you left. It says he left when he seen there was nothing but teenagers around. Why wouldn't he call then? You know, because it's certain shit that they keep on the wraps, man. They don't tell you, bro. You know, I'm grab this scripture right quick. This is Luke chapter 12. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 2. It says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops," man. You know, so what most of the things that these devils were doing, that shit is starting to come to light, man. You know, this wicked ass shit, you know, that's been going on, you know, the Lord is bringing it to the light, you know, and this man has been dead almost 3 years. He's been dead almost 3 years now. Now, why all of a sudden it's just now starting to come to the light, man? You know, I'll do some research. It says Jeffrey Einstein. He died in 2019. He died in 2019, man. Well, it's almost 7 years later. Why now? All of a sudden now that everything is starting to come out, they're starting to make documentaries on this shit, man. This shit should have been out. You know, it should have been out. If this man died 7 years ago. It says he died in 2019, man. You know, in a correctional facility, man. A correctional facility is where they send them damn rich people who got money. They put them in a damn cell. They got a TV and a nice comfortable bed, all that type of shit in there, man. You know, they ain't in the same prison as Jake, man. You know, Jake got to worry about getting shanked and all type of shit, man. But you got, you know, these rich white folks that go to jail or prison. You know, they in something comfortable and nice where they can live out the, you know, if they get a life sentence, they can live it out good, man. You know, not for Jake, man. They put Jake in very, very harsh conditions, man. I wanted to go to the book of Matthew chapter 10. This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 26. It says, "Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered thou shalt not be revealed, that shall not be known." You know, verse 27, it says, "What I tell you in darkness, that speaking in light, and what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops," man. You know, just like in the book of Luke, man. You know, this shit is starting to come out, man. You know, the Lord, the Lord is bringing it all to the light, man. You know, all this wickedness that was done, you know, with you wicked elites, you know, doing wicked ass shit behind closed doors. You know, it's starting to come to the light, man. You know, I'm gonna go back to some of this article. Actually, I'm gonna grab some of the files, man. Man, these Edomites, man, they trying to put a cap. They trying to go through. You know how when they put up the not a robot documents, man. You know, man, that's this devil, man, always trying to hide shit, man. You know, but the Lord is starting to bring everything to the light, man. You know, it's it says this is on pbs.org. You know, you gotta say the damn website there. They'll try to copyright your videos, man. It says for much of 2 decades, police, FBI agents, and prosecutors investigated allegations that Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused underage girls. It says in 2005, he had a 14-year-old girl that he molested in his mansion. It says that was in 2005. In 2000, wait, Salakia, bringing it back to 2005. It says he had a 14-year-old girl that he molested, along with multiple other teenage girls, underage girls that was still in high school. Then the next year, wait, Salakia, I'm moving too fast. This man was a damn. It says he had sex with a 14-year-old girl, and then he molested a 14-year-old girl, Then he had other multiple underage girls, a lot of high school students. It said he told police he hired them to give him a sexual massages, man. And everybody know what a sexual massage is, man. You know, you get naked, you know, you let a woman massage your private areas and this and that, man. And it usually, you know, ends in having sex, man. You know? And that was this man in damn 2006, 2005. You know? This was in 2005. So the next year, it says he got more accounts with unlawful sex with a minor, and that was in May. It says in July he was arrested. And then it says they had secret deals in 2018, you know, for him to you know, when you accept a plea deal, man. And this is in 2008. So for him, he was having sex with underage girls and molesting them, and it says he only got sentenced to 18 months. 18 months in prison, man. Think about if it was Jake. They didn't gave Jake fucking 3 or 4 life sentences, man. And probably the fucking chair. You know what they do to child molesters in prison, man. They usually end up getting, you know, killed or you know, shanked or something in jail, man. But this man was tucked away in a damn correctional facility, living his fucking best life, man. You know? It says, under a secret arrangement, the U.S. Attorney's Office agrees not to prosecute Epstein for federal charges, man. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that, man? You know? It just crazy, man. You think about the shit Jake gotta go through. You know, Jake could get accused for something, and they give him the chair. But you got this man that's actually being convicted, and you got other celebrities that knew he was a creep, and he basically walked away scot-free, man. Fucking 18 months in a correctional facility, and he got a damn flat screen TV and a comfy ass bed, eating like a fucking king, man. You know, you got Jake. Jake do the same thing. Oh shit, man, they finna catch 3-4 life sentences. They gonna get the chair. They gonna get stabbed and shit in jail. All type of shit, man. That shows you what? That shows you the curses too, man. You know, we under these curses, man. But it says secret deal leads to a light jail term. And then it goes on. So it says this was that was in okay, that was in June of 2008. So it says July 2009, Epstein is released from jail, right? So he left. He got off early, man. He got out of jail early, bro. He got out of jail early for that shit, man, bro. This Salaki, man. You know, this is my first time really going into actually reading, man. You know, it's crazy, bro, what these damn Edomites can get away with, man. You know, when you got a little bit of money. Even if it was Jake and Jake had a little bit of money, Jake was still going under. They got athletes, you know, catching cases, you know, for the domestic violence, like shit like that, man. You know, they bring them through the damn coals, man. They drag them through the coals just for that. You know, but this man got a damn 18-month sentence and only served what 11 months. It says he pled guilty in June of 2008, but he pled guilty in June of 2008. He was sentenced to 18 months. It says July 2009 that he was released from jail, man. I ain't the smartest man in the world, but that sounds like 12 to 13 months, man. You know? And that's him getting out early, man. So it says for the next decade, Epstein accusers waged legal fight to get his federal non-prosecution agreement voided. So they was trying to throw out these allegations, man. So he was free for another 10 years. And this is in 2009. He died in 2019. So he didn't serve no time for doing none of the shit he did, man. You know, and if you see these Epstein files, you know that he had a lot of shit that he was doing on that fucking island, man. With all these damn celebrities, these underage girls, all kind of shit they was doing on that fucking island, man. You know? It says FBI agents and U.S. Attorney's Office begin a new investigation on Epstein. So they had a new investigation on him, man. So he had time to do whatever the hell he wanted to do for those 10 years, man. You know? And that's after he told the police that he hired these underage girls to give him sexual massages, man. You know, and he knew it. He knew they were underage, man. Think about if it would have been Jake, bro. Jake would have been going up that fucking road. It says, this was in December of 2018. In July of 2019, it says Epstein is arrested on new sex trafficking charges. So if he didn't get arrested for the damn old ones, now y'all want to all of a sudden arrest him on new ones? And you know the FBI, man, they'll just sit there and just watch you do it before they say something. But you don't let it get no fucking 10 years down the road, man, before y'all want to try to do something else, man. And if he got a slap on the wrist for doing the first time, you know, you don't think he had his fun the second time, man? For 10 more years? And he was already a kind of older man, you know, so he lived out his life. He had his fun, you know. And I'm sure, you know, most of the women that he had or sex trafficking and all other shit was Jake, man. You know how Jake is in Miami, man. They got the you know, you usually got some Issachar, you know, Manessa, Ephraim, you know, and we know they got some beautiful women, man. You know, so that's probably most of the women that he was sex trafficking down there, man. You know, it says Epstein is arrested on new sex trafficking charges brought by prosecutors in New York who have concluded they aren't bound by the earlier non-prosecution agreement with Epstein in Florida. Days later, Acosta resigns as labor secretary. Then that was in July. So in August, the next month, he kills himself, man. It says Epstein kills himself in his jail cell in New York. He had his fucking fun. Now he want to kill himself, but he had his fun. He had his fucking fun, man. It says, federal prosecutors in New York charged Maxwell with sex crimes, saying she helped recruit and abuse Epstein's victims. So this was in 2020. So it says in 2021, after a month-long trial and jury conviction, Maxwell of sex trafficking and other crimes, it says Maxwell is sentenced to 20 years in prison. So what the fuck? Why they couldn't do that to Jeffrey Epstein, man? They knew what he was doing. You know, they knew what he was doing back in 2006, man. He admitted to doing it, man. You have a man that admits to doing something, and you give him 18 months in prison, and he's not serving the whole 18 months, man. You know. I'm gonna grab some scriptures, man. I want to go to the book of Job. This is Job chapter 9. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the judges of the faces thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? You know, and we know how these damn devils get down, man. They're the fucking wicked, bro. You got Jeffrey Epstein. Fuck, he got sentenced to 18 months for molesting children, man. He acts like nothing happened. You know, they give him a slap on the wrist. You know, he goes right back out and do the same shit that he was doing, you know, before he got arrested. And he got 10 more years of doing the same shit before y'all arrest him again. And now he kills himself, but he had his fun, man. You know, and then y'all gave the person that was helping him do all this shit, y'all only give them 20 years. Y'all only give them 20 years, and I guarantee you they don't do the whole 20 years, man. You know? Y'all give the person that do it 18 months, and the person that was helping him 20 years. You know? What if it would have been Jake? That would have been hanging Jake ass from a fucking tree, man. If Jake was out here fucking molesting little girls and shit, man. The earth is giving it to the hand of the wicked, man. You know, that's who has this place right now, the wicked, man. You know, but the Lord is bringing all that bullshit to light, man. All the things that was happening behind closed doors, man. They bring it to light. You know? We go to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 6. It says, this is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. You know, and that's these wicked elites, man. You know, they pray straight on that left hand side, getting blessed straight by that left hand side, man. You know, with those wicked those spiritual meetings they be doing and shit, those rituals and shit. You know, these devils been doing shit like that, man. These Masons, you know, and all these other I forgot what you call them, man. You know, oh damn, Salaki, man. I forgot what you call them. I know they have them all around You know, those college campuses, man. Those organizations, man. You know, they got the Q Dogs, the Kappas, all kind of shit, man. But people don't actually know what is going into, man. You know, it's a lot of wickedness that goes behind closed doors, man. You know, and those rituals that they do sometimes, you know, that's just the PG-13 version of it, man. You know, they have other versions of it. You know, they make you shave your head bald. You know, they do all kind of rituals that embarrass you, that cause you to embarrass yourself. You know, I know back when I was in the world, man, I was in college, man. You know, I was trying to be a Q dog. You know, and what had happened was shit, man. What happened was something ended up happening, man, and it caused me to miss the meeting where they were doing. You know, they was trying to see who I wanted to be a Q dog, and the Lord had it to where I think I ended up getting a flat tire, man, and I missed the meeting. Right, I missed the meeting, and they wouldn't allow me, you know, to try to join in. You know, and then the following year, I wasn't even in school anymore. You know, so you know that's the Lord pulling those strings, you know, to keep you out of bullshit, man. You know, those satanic rituals and shit that they do, man. You know, I'm gonna go to the book of 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and in verse 4, it says, "For who opposite and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that as Yahweh sitteth in the temple of power, showeth himself that he is Yahweh." You know, that's what these devils do, man. They proclaim themselves to be God, man, and they're not, man. You know, not even close, man. You crackers not even better than the Lord's men, man. You know, you just got power on this side because the Lord is allowing you to have it, man. But we gonna see when the roles change, man. When we get our powers, man. When we get it in our bodies, man, that we're supposed to be in. You know, we pray we be of that elect number, but those bodies that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua is gonna give his elect, man. You know, we gonna see what y'all call yourselves in that day, man. When y'all can't do nothing against the men of the Lord, man. When the Lord taking y'all ass out left and right, man. You know, when Yahweh come back on that chariot, man, we gonna see who nuts dropped in. You know, we gonna see if y'all still got that same energy y'all had while Yahweh is waiting on Yahweh to tell him it's go time, man. We gonna see if y'all still on that same type of time. You know, y'all niggas got hell to pay, man. You not the almighty power, man. You a wannabe, man. You want to have all the power. You can't say your fucking self, man. I'm gonna go to the book of John. This is John chapter 8 and verse 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." And that's what you're doing, man. You out here lusting, you creating all kind of wickedness. You promoting people being a mo. You promoting this alphabet community months. You promoting all kind of fucking wickedness, man. That's what you doing. You are of your father the devil. It says he was a murderer from the beginning and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. You know, it's no truth in you Edomites, man. All you want to do is get over, man. Tell smooth lies, man. That's what y'all do. Y'all tell smooth lies, man. But knowing that the hate was in your heart, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing, man. You know, you damn devils ain't got a what they call it, a good bone in you, man. You know, a righteous bone in you. You know, you niggas is wicked, man. You know, it don't matter how nice y'all be to Jake, man. If y'all could kill him, y'all would. You know, if y'all could kill him, y'all would, man. And that just goes to show you, man. Iron that iron rusteth, man. You know, it says when he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it, man. You Edomites, man. That's all y'all do is lie, man. You know, y'all murder, y'all kill, murder, and hold yourselves, you know, not accountable. Roughly paraphrasing, man. I'm gonna grab the scripture. Wow. Salakia, man. You know, ever since I looked up the Jeffrey Epstein's file, that's starting to cut my internet, man. I'm starting to having to answer all these damn these internet bot questions and this all type of shit, man. That goes to show you, man, when Esau's dress get lifted up a little bit, man, you know, they trying to hide everything under their dress. Now they dress starting to come up. Shit, hey man, more shit is gonna come out, man. This is Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. It says, "Who possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and the all shepherds pity them not." You know, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, man. You know that's what they do. They shoot the gun and put their hands behind their head, man. You know, that's what these devils do. You know, just like up there in Minnesota. You know, a lot of these cops, man. You know, a lot of these cops is, you know, these damn Edomite slave catchers. They shoot Jake and don't shit happen to him, man. You know, they say they was protecting themselves. You know, that's when you know, man, what kind of place we're in. Cause fuck these damn slave catchers get away with murder all the time, you know, and Trump said, yeah, man, yeah, he was just protecting himself, man. She shouldn't have did what she did. You know, you got a damn woman Mo at that, a lady that's in her 50s, man. What damage can she do to a trained army veteran in his 30s, probably in the best shape of his life? What harm can she bring to that man? You know, that just goes to show you, man. You know, they kill, they slay, and hold themselves not guilty, man. You know, I'm gonna go to the book of Acts chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, and Salakia, it said, and they knew that it was he which sat for Salakia. Salakia, that's Salakia. Salakia. Well, these people, man. Salakia, man. It didn't lock me out of. I'm gonna just I'm gonna just grab this last scripture, man, cause it's starting to lock me out of a lot of shit, man. On my internet. That's how you know, man. These devils got shit to hide, man. I'm gonna grab this in the NLT. It says this is Matthew chapter 4 and oh my gosh, bro. Salakia, man. Y'all brothers bear with me, man. This is I'm gonna go to the book of First John. First John chapter 3 and verse. This is First John chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, "He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning." You know, and that's these Edomites, man. They've been doing that since they was in the garden, man. That serpent, man. It says, "For the purpose the son of Yahweh was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil," man. You know, and that's it, bro. You know, you see these Edomites, man. They were evil from the very beginning, man. That serpent, man. You know, they were evil from the beginning, and nothing's gonna change, man. You know, they're gonna stay that way to their ultimate demise, man. You know, from the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, man. But that's pretty much it for this camp. You know, I pray you brothers and you some sincere sisters were edified. Until next camp, Shalom. Abba.